Just in case you didn't notice the title of the video, we're going to downtown Plymouth, Massachusetts. It's a beautiful little town with tons of little shops and, of course, lots of history. It's hard to find a parking spot down here, but oh look, here's one, and it's right in front of the Black's Dog store. Just my luck. Oh look, a black dog. Don't show Sharon. We'll definitely be going home with that. Oh, yep, she found it. You see this?
Well, I guess that one's coming home too.
I think we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Maybe a sweatshirt to go with the hat? Sweatshirt to go with the hat?
Maybe. What do you see?
Black dog toys.
Yes.
Perfect for our dogs because they're black. Oh, this store just got bigger. Going up. Whole other section of the store. I have the feeling this trip just got very expensive. Do you? Fondue? These sights are nice, but we need something smaller for the trailer. Dog, noun, loyal companion, faithful protector, chaser of tails, four-legged alarm clock. Also, cereal face licker and food scrounger. Best friend. Here's the layout of things. We're over here by the courthouse. Just up to the left is the grist mill, and right behind us is the Mayflower Meeting House, the Church of Pilgrimage. Plymouth. 77 miles to Provincetown to the left, 45 miles to Boston to the right. 1749 Courthouse Museum. English court records published in England in 1712. It's a collection of English court records from 1682 to 1690, including the reign of King William and Queen Mary. It was built in 1828. English oak bench from 1880. In 1792, Plymouth became the site of Parting Ways, one of the earliest free black settlements in America. 4 black Revolutionary War veterans were granted 94 acres of land by the town as a reward for their military service. Okay, going up to the courtroom. Here's the courtroom. Very different than the courtrooms we have today.
Absolutely.
Same principles, but set up very differently.
It is.
Judges.
And pews.
Yep. Jury. Witness boxes. Witness stand. The coat of arms of King George II. This is the Church of the Pilgrimage. So this is the first church in Plymouth, also known as the Mayflower Meeting House. The Church of Scrooby Linden and the Mayflower gathered on this hillside in 1620. You know what was here?
What?
The house of John Alden.
Yes.
This is the site where the house of John Alden lived while in Plymouth. They believed in religious freedom in honor of Edward Doughty, Elder William Brewster, Patriarch of the Pilgrims, and their ruling elder, 1609 to 1644. Yeah, he lived a short life. That was less than 40 years.
Yeah. They didn't live as long back then.
And many of them lost their lives on the voyage over on the
Yes,
Mayflower.
due to sickness.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, John Alden, he married Priscilla, who her entire family was lost during the first winter here. And he was a deckhand on the Mayflower. He was in charge of the barrels, and he decided to stay with them. He wasn't one of the original pilgrims, but he got off the ship and stayed here.
Wow.
Alexander Scramble, teacher, soldier, and patriot. Teacher of the first public school on this site. The grave of William Crowe, 1683. The grave of Robert Cushman. Thomas Cushman, ruling elder of the first church in Plymouth. An excerpt from one of his sermons says, "And you, my loving friends, the adventurers to this plantation, as your care has been first to settle the religion here before either profit or popularity. So I pray you go on. I rejoice that you thus honor God with your riches, and I trust you shall be repaid again, double and triple in this world. Yea, and the memory of this action shall never die." Where Burial Hill sits, it was the site of the first fort built in 1621. The lower part was used for the church, in memory of the children of John and Elizabeth Tilly Howland, pilgrims of the Mayflower, Abigail Brown Judson. Resting place of James Warren, scholar, patriot, and soldier, President of the Provincial Congress of Massachusetts, General of the American Revolution. Grave of Major William Bradford. I found this interesting. There's Hebrew writing on his stone. Under this stone rest the ashes of William Bradford, a zealous Puritan and sincere Christian, governor of Plymouth Colony from April 1621 to 1657. Here's Cape Cod. This is where they first landed, up here by Provincetown. They realized they were on a peninsula, so they had to cross the harbor here, came all the way down here to Plymouth, where they landed. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. That's where they actually settled, was up there on that hill. That's where they built the fort.
Yep.
And which makes sense to be up on the high ground,
Sure.
you know. And unlike Jamestown, where they built in the swampy lowlands, they didn't have good water and whatever. But here, they were really smart with their selection of sites, and they had a thriving colony. And a lot of that was because of their faith in God. Gonna eat at Water Street Cafe. Breakfast and lunch all day. Okay, we got our breakfast. I ordered onions, mushroom, cheese omelet with cheddar. Of course, got some white toast. She got a Swiss omelet with English muffins. That was a good meal.
Yeah.
Very good meal. Oh, steep steps. Oh, yeah. See if I can navigate this. Water Street Cafe. Yep. Right on Water Street, Plymouth. Good food. Good breakfast. Down here at Plymouth Memorial State Park. It's where the Mayflower II is. So, of course, as soon as I start recording, a very loud motorcycle has to come by.
That's the way it works.
Yep. No. Oh, smell that.
Yep.
So, the Pilgrims came over on the Mayflower I, but that one's not around. So they built the Mayflower II, which we can take a look at and see and tour. Yeah, we came down here once before with our boys when they were very young. It's our second time back. Mayflower II, built in 1955 and 1957 on the National Register of Historic Places. Should I stay or should I go? Hey, that would make a great song. Wait a minute. It says, years before Mayflower sails, the seeds of your journey have been planted in the northeastern shires of England. King James I is head of the Church of England, a group of religious separatists meeting in secret, hidden from the eyes of the church. Their actions are illegal. After years of persecution, these separatists leave England, fleeing to Holland, where they can worship without fear. But life in Holland is hard. Soon conversations begin about finding a new place to live. Back in England, the country is ravaged by economic depression. And this is where our story begins. It's kind of interesting they have to put in here. Remember, your parents are in charge. There are no video games, no cell phones or computers. You spend much of your time as a child helping around the house and watching over the smaller children. You ready for this? Can you handle it?
Sure.
Okay. This is a pretty steep brow because it's at high tide right now. Nice and slow. Up we go. You okay?
Yeah, it's steep though.
It is very steep. Oh, wow. This is getting high. I don't recall it being this steep last time.
No.
But we're at high tide, so yeah, of course the boat's up higher. Okay, I think I've made it. Okay, step down. Yeah, here we go.
Those are called lead boards. They're weights to balance the sail movement at sea.
Made it. This is the main deck where the captain would have piloted the ship. So this room would have been shared by two men, the mates, navigation officers. So yeah, that's where I would have stayed. Oh, we got to make it down some stairs here. Look at that. That's pretty steep. I'm gonna go, and you're gonna hold me, right?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Here's the winch for the anchor or other things that they need. Get 4 stays in there, and the men would line up behind it and turn it. Move the ropes. This here is the helm. Now, there is no wheel. It was a lever that controlled the rudder left and right. Very simple device. And then here's some beds next to you. And this here would have been the captain's and first officer's quarters, the wardroom, you know, where they have the table and they have a couple of bunks in here. Yep, pretty tight, just like a submarine.
Yeah.
Off the bow area, any of the sailors would sleep in hammocks like that, as they keep the ropes and some of the other equipment.
If a person was sleeping in a hammock, wouldn't that be kind of moving when the ship got into waves and so forth?
Well, yeah, but think about it. The hammock's going to sit there based upon the center of gravity while the ship moves around it. So actually, if you're in the hammock, you're actually staying stable while the ship is the one that's moving.
Yep.
So even though the hammock's swinging,
Yeah,
it's the ship that's actually moving. The hammock's just staying there, held by gravity.
right.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
So this is an interesting little device here. See, it's got the weight attached to it. What they would do is they would tie knots in this rope at certain distances. Then they throw the weight over and it would pay out. And they would time how long it took for the rope to pay out. And they would measure that in knots. They would count the knots and how many time. And then that would determine the speed they were going, like 5 knots or 10 knots. And that's where the term came from. This piece here is the helm. We saw the lever up above, and you see it comes down through here. There's a rotating pivot right there, and it comes down to here, and then this would move either to the left or to the right, and then it would adjust the rudder outside the ship there. Of course, it was guided by these pulleys here to keep it taut. And of course, they had this giant fan here because we all know it gets very humid crossing the Atlantic. No, that's for tourists that are in this ship today, because it gets very humid in New England in the summer. This is the other end of the capstan where they could put staves in here and rotate it. They have an extra capstan here that they can replace the other one with. And of course, these are the stays that they would put into the capstan to rotate it. So this is the middle deck on the ship, and this is where the 102 passengers would have stayed. Below this is the hold, where they'd keep tools and supplies and food and all that stuff. But everybody slept in here, and including a dinghy that they had taken apart and sat in here. So that's where a lot of people would sleep, was in the extra pieces of the dinghy. Yep. If you remember your history lessons, one of the beams in the Mayflower was warping down and cracking. And they used a wooden beam and this thing that looks like Thor's hammer to prop it up. Pretty interesting stuff, huh?
Yeah, it really is. And I didn't realize that about Bradford's wife. That's really tragic.
So what Sharon was just referring to is that William Bradford's wife fell overboard. And that happened while they were on an exploratory mission. He went out to find where they could land, and that was Plymouth. And when he got back, she had fallen overboard and died. Sad story. Good history lesson, worth coming down. Worth the $17 that we paid each.
Senior price.
Senior price, yep. Yeah. It was short, but yeah, it's good to know. It's good to see the stuff. And what's really interesting is how cramped and crowded and close to the sea, and how things would have been damp and wet. You know, you don't think of that today on your modern cruises. It was quite the endurance they had to go through to get here. It was no easy voyage. So let's talk a minute about why the Pilgrims were here. They were English, and they did not like what the Church of England had become. They were separatists. Now, a lot of people call them purists or Puritans, but they were really the separatists. Now, some were Puritan separatists. The Puritans wanted to purify the church. The separatists believed that the church was lost there. It's a lost cause. We just want to separate from it. But you couldn't worship any other way in England except by going to the Church of England. So they left and they went to Holland. And there they had the freedom to worship as they wanted. But they thought that there should be more to what they were doing. They didn't want to live in a foreign country like that. And they wanted to become a missionary type of people. And so that's why they set sail on the Mayflower to come to America as a missionary type of people, to establish a place where worship could be free and not be ruled by the crown, which, you know, England had flip-flopped between Protestant and Catholic and Protestant. It was quite the mess. So that's why they came to America, because they were separatists. There's a museum shop here. Take a look inside. Pure beeswax candles and bayberry candles. You can get a copy of the Mayflower Compact here. Quiet and serene out here today.
It is.
Somebody over there playing a flute, but other than that, yeah, nice quiet day. This is a memorial statue to the Pilgrim Mother, Dedication to the women of the Mayflower. Here's a statue honoring William Bradford, governor and historian of the Plymouth colony. He was born in Austerfield, England in 1590. He died in Plymouth, New England, 1657. Here's a quote from Bradford. Lastly, and which was not least, a great hope and inward zeal they had of laying some good foundation, or at least to make some way thereunto, for ye propagating and advancing ye gospel of ye kingdom of Christ in those remote parts of ye world. Yea, though they should be but even as stepping stones unto others, for ye performing of so great a work. Noting that they came here to create even as stepping stones, the work of the gospel for future generations. There it is, Plymouth Rock. So this is actually your third time to be here at Plymouth Rock.
Yes.
Came with school.
Yep, when I was really young.
And then we came with our boys once.
Once.
So Plymouth Rock, it's where they first set foot on Plymouth. Used to be a lot bigger, but people over the years took hammers and chisels, wanted to take a piece of the rock. So it's a lot smaller now. Yep, time for the campfire. We got a nice campfire pit this time. Grilled chicken salad tonight, a la Sharon. Yeah, this was a good day, good meal, good evening. And we're just gonna sit here and relax by the campfire for a while and watch the dogs, listen to the gunfire going off over at the range next door, it seems like. Yeah. We're going to have a pleasant evening, and we will see you tomorrow morning. We're not over yet. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Hey, we're back. It's the next day. We're going to be checking out soon. How are you girls, huh? Yep. Yeah, we had a little rain last night, so I cleaned everything up last night so it wouldn't get wet, except for this one carpet. Yeah, we got an airport nearby and a gun range. The gun started shooting right about 9 a.m. Just noticing Sharon's pile of plush animals. Yeah, look at them. You got Bucky, you got the Rocket, you got the Moose, Brother Moose or whatever, and you got a new black dog, and Oscar the sea lion, and even a Tribble. So Sharon just corrected me that the raccoon is not Rocket, it's Bandit. Okay, my mistake. You know, I've been thinking all weekend long, this is a real nice camping area, you know. There's like 30 sites all throughout here. You know, they're all, you know, just water and electric, 30 amps. But this would be a great place to have a meetup, you know? Get a bunch of people together and just hang out for a weekend, you know? Have the dogs meet, you know, do some activities, maybe have a band play, do some karaoke. Yeah, that sounds like it would be fun. If you're interested in doing something like that with us, put a comment down below. We'll think about maybe teaming up with another channel and doing something. Yeah, right here, Pinewood Lodge. Yep, time to start getting stuff out of here. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Well, that was a loss of time. I spent all that time getting the GoPro ready, and then the clip broke, and I don't have another clip that mounts right on the top here. So, no GoPro on the way home. Sorry, no GoPro on the way home.
What can you do? It happens.
Somebody put an air mattress in the trash can.
Oh, well.
Not supposed to do that. You're only supposed to put your household garbage in there, not
Right.
take your air mattress home and throw it away in your own garbage. Don't leave it for the campground to do. Let's see, that mirror needs to come up and out. Steady stream of people heading out. Okay, I think that's it.
I think so.
That concludes this trip. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumbs up. And yeah, Plymouth. It's a great place.
Yeah, it is. Go find it yourself and look around. Lots to see down there and lots of history.
And lots to buy too.
Yeah. Always.
At big prices. So thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you on the streets.
Bye.
Brought something in I shouldn't have. Yeah, that just stays right in here. You're still here? It's over. Go watch Blowing the Stink Off. We're done.